Hello, welcome back to a brand new video. Down channel. Today we are doing another Missed Details video. Today we are checking out Resident Evil Requiem, Resident Evil 9 trailer. Missed Details, let's go. Also, this has audio in it because there's a couple of things I want to mention and react to the trailer. So yeah, let's go. Okay.
Sir.
So as this guy walks in here, we can see this new main character. I have a theory about what's with these new main characters and what's going on here. Of course, in walks him. I have seen this trailer about 3 times now.
Grace Ashcroft.
Yes?
I believe he says Grace Ashcroft. Now, Alyssa Ashcroft was a character from Resident Evil Outbreak. I haven't personally played that game, and I haven't seen too much to comment on it. All I know is that she was a part of that game, really. And, but yeah, I believe she was alive by the end of the game. But also, she was in Resident Evil 7 as a little bit of a cameo, I guess you could say, when she commented on people going missing. Of course, due to the Baker family, which I thought was a little bit cool.
My office.
So she seems to be working for
Coming.
the FBI. This new animation looks so good.
If this is about the report you asked for yesterday, it'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days, tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another body. One that...
Now this appears to be more bodies more bodies being found. Which sort of reminds me of like many different one of the Resident Evil movies where it's the one where they have all of them, the newest one, Death Island, where they're going around and they're finding all these dead bodies and then they track it down to, of course, Alcatraz. And I thought that was a little bit cool. That,
it's the same pathology as the others we've been investigating. Now I need a good technical analyst on this.
Okay.
I need your eyes on the crime scene. The Renwood Hotel. I know that's where your mother was murdered.
So we've just had a little bit of the
Renwood Hotel.
Just a confirmation to say that she is dead. Alyssa is dead.
That's where your mother was murdered.
As we can see, this is a new RE engine, Alyssa Ashcroft, and she looks quite good. I quite enjoy her model. Enjoy her model? That's a bit weird. It's this man here I want to put a little attention on.
I know that's where your mother was murdered.
Here. People don't know who this is, and he's definitely a main character. Now, I want to notice one thing, is he seems to be dead, or, correction, undead, as he has, like, mouldy bits coming out of his mouth. So, yes. Also, by the way, I am actually just getting over a common cold, so, yeah, I'm a little bit ill. And people are saying that is Leon S. Kennedy. I personally would like to think it was Leon S. Kennedy, but the only reason I don't think it might be Leon is because they have used the mind control sort of thing before in RE5, of course, with Jill being mind controlled. So if they're going to go over it again, it was a little bit weird, and maybe just copying, but
ago.
I know.
Perhaps it's time for you to
Alyssa is
face the
died
past.
2 years ago.
Grace.
I want to take a note of one shot coming up.
Perhaps it's time for you to face the past.
Sorry, not that bot.
Grace.
That little part there that we just saw, there was like a test tube, and I believe I watched someone saying that they're draining over her blood. I don't know why, but they are. Maybe she has some mold in her or something like that.
What is this?
Now, here, this shot has always been quite funny to me every time I look at it, because it reminds me of two things: the Resident Evil 8 Lady D castle with the white curtain. But I don't know why, but I'm always getting flashbacks of the RPD. When you first encounter the Licker, when you first see the Licker in Resident Evil 2, when that guy has had his face like mauled, it just reminds me of that hallway for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Stay close.
Now this scene, I haven't seen people mention this, but it reminds me of in Resident Evil 7, when you first come out of the water, when you fall down the hole, and you come out the water, there's pictures of missing posters, and they're almost identical to this. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go back to Resident Evil 7's location. However, if we were, that would be very insanely cool. I just saying, Capcom, just saying.
They're coming.
Now, I don't know where this is. I have a feeling this walking character is Leon or Chris. It looks like Chris's Resident Evil 8 outfit to me.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for.
This person here, I have a theory on who it is, and I've heard many people say this theory. My theory is that this is Oswald E. Spencer. He has sat down. His hairline is atrocious. I think I can see the start of his forehead, and let's just say his hair isn't there. Like, if you look here, his hair isn't there. And as we all know, Oswald E. Spencer's hairline was sort of atrocious because he was an old man. And he sat down on a chair, and as we know, Oswald E. Spencer was bound to his wheelchair. And also with the old sort of music player like thing there, I think it may be Oswald E. Spencer. Now I can't see the colour of his hair. It may be blue. I don't know, but I can't see.
Special one, the chosen one, Miss Ashcroft.
Now, he is saying that Miss Ashcroft is the chosen one. Now, everyone's always gone to this is Grace. He's talking about Grace. But I wonder if he means Alyssa, and that's why Alyssa is dead. Or undead, as we'll get into a little bit later. That is my theory, that maybe he's actually talking to Alyssa here. And not Grace. Now, of course, this is the nuke. This is the crater where the nuke hit in Resident Evil 2 and 3, meaning that we are now back in Raccoon City.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices.
Those two voices remind me of Leon and Jill, but it's almost not the same, and I don't know why. Jill sounds like Jill there, I think. I think that is Jill, but the guy doesn't sound like Leon. But the only character I can think it could be.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
That sounds a bit like Chris there.
Please
Of
know
course.
that you are my hope.
I think it's Alyssa.
Everyone's gone.
Listen to that voice
Have
again.
you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
To me, this may be me reading into a little bit, and now I'm about to say it doesn't really sound like it, but to me, that has hints of Evelyn. So I wonder if Evelyn will make a return in this game to round off the Mold series. Maybe? Who knows? Of course, this is back at the RPD station. Now, I have some theories about this one guy.
Are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
I think that this is a flashback to Raccoon City during RE2 to one of the main characters. Now, I know we haven't seen this character before, and it wouldn't make sense for us to have a flashback to a character we've never seen before, but it's the way that it's a zombie bite, and I personally don't believe zombies are going to come back in this game. I feel like they're going to round off the mold thing in this game. And it wouldn't make sense for them to come away from zombies from Resident Evil 2 and from Resident Evil 3. From Resident Evil 4 onwards, they had new types of enemies. And they never went back to the zombies thing, apart from... Actually, they did in Resident Evil 6, but that's a game we don't really talk about. In Resident Evil 7, of course, with the molded, and then Resident Evil 8, we had the the vampires and the lichens. So it wouldn't make sense for them just to come back to zombies again, in my personal opinion. That is a...
You are my hope.
Hold on, let me get after this guy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very bad at this pausing thing.
Are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
This here is the new Stalker enemy. And I have some inside knowledge that this scene, I think, is from the start of the game. This is really cool. I really hope that this is in a way that, in RE8, when you had that, the unborn baby fetus thing chasing you around, that in my playthrough I was absolutely scared of. I really hope that it's like that, where you don't have any weapons and you can't really face it. Of course... Oh no, I'm not going back there. You just saw someone being strangled by what people think is Leon. Here's another scene of a police officer turning into a zombie. Now notice one thing, it looks like the RPD police officers. So, I wonder if this is another flashback to a character. Maybe it's Chris. But Chris wasn't in. It can't be Chris, actually. Maybe it'll be like another Stars member that we forgot about and is actually just come back. I don't know. And then we have this new character, which I do think is Alyssa. It would make sense to be Alyssa, I think. It would definitely make sense to be Alyssa. As a sort of way of, like, facing her mum, I guess. In a way. Yeah, I think that's a good theory. And then we have Requiem, RE9. So, yes, this is the new Resident Evil game. My thoughts on the trailer. I really think this is going to be a really good Resident Evil game. I also going to go back to a theory that I've been thinking of, and I think I've mentioned it in a couple other games, but I don't think that Resident Evil Requiem 9 is going to be the last game of the series. I think this is just the beginning for a new era of Resident Evil. And I think we're getting this with all these new characters being introduced. I think that there's going to be a sort of new heroes sort of thing going on. The reason I think this is Resident Evil is Capcom's biggest moneymaker. And I don't think they want to end it because it just makes them so much money. And also, I don't think fans would be too happy with it ending. Now, I'm not saying it shouldn't end. It will end, I think, in this next era of about, I'm guessing, 3 or 4 games. But I feel like there's going to be a new thing with, like, new heroes coming into play. And I think these new heroes will be people like Rose, people like Grace. And I think these are going to be new sort of main people for Resident Evil. Like, I think that would be very, very good. Now, I don't know if we're going to have any, if we're going to be introduced to any new characters. Maybe those voices are whole new voices and only that Alyssa, they're not Alyssa, that Grace meets, and these are going to be a new main 5. But yeah, I don't think that that this is gonna be the end for Resident Evil. It may go under another name, like Resident Evil something, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think this is gonna be the last game. Anyway, yeah guys, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, next video, but until next time guys, I will see you later. Cheerio.